Good morning, students. In the last class, we have seen about different types of power amplifiers. So, in this class, we are going to discuss about class AB type of power amplifier. Why we are going for class AB type of power amplifier? First of all, we know the efficiency of class A, which is 25%, and it can be improved up to 50% using transformer coupling. And we know the efficiency of class B type of an amplifier, which is 78.5%. So we need more efficiency, which means that we have to convert the DC voltage into AC voltage. That is our main intention. So the class B type is giving only 78.5%, but we need more than that. And one more reason why we are going for the class AB type of an amplifier is the distortion present in push-pull amplifiers of class B type. So what is the distortion present in push-pull amplifiers of class B type is crossover distortion. So we know that what is crossover distortion. So the both transistors that are present in the push-pull amplifier will be in off state when the voltage lies between 0.7 volts to minus 0.7 volts. So in this range, both transistors will be in off state because lack of cut-in voltage in order to switch on the transistors. So that's why at this time we will get 0 volts at the output side. So this is called crossover distortion. So this crossover distortion is a main problem that is available in push-pull type of power amplifiers. So in order to eliminate that, we are going for class AB type of power amplifiers. So let us see what is class AB type of power amplifier. In order to eliminate the crossover distortion, an additional forward voltage is applied for the both transistors in class B. So the main crossover distortion is occurring due to lack of cut-in voltage. That cut-in voltage we are providing by using some external DC voltage. So this crossover distortion will get eliminated in class AB type of power amplifiers. In class AB type of power amplifiers, the Q point is shifted upward from the x-axis. We know that the Q point will be lies on x-axis for class B type, and the Q point will be at the exact middle in class A type of power amplifiers. So, but now this Q point is away from the x-axis and far from the middle of the DC load line. So it is just above the x-axis. So this signal is the input signal and this one is our output signal. As we selected the Q point here, the entire this cycle will be reproduced at the output side, and as we selected the Q point here, the remaining this portion of the signal only reproduces at the output side, and remaining this I won't say it is half cycle, less than half cycle signal will be wasted. We can say the Q point is lies between the class A and class B amplifiers. In class AB type of power amplifiers, the full cycle of input signal, the output conducts for more than half cycle. Therefore, conduction angle lies between 180 degrees to 360 degrees. So it is more than 180 degrees conduction and less than 360 degrees because some portion is missing at the output side. So the efficiency of this class A amplifier can be given as 50% to 78.5% because the class AB type of an amplifier is a combination of class A and B. The maximum efficiency is more than class A type and equal to class B type. Okay, this is about class AB type of power amplifier. So the class AB type of power amplifiers are classified into two types. One is push-pull class AB type of power amplifier and the second one is complementary symmetry class AB type of power amplifier. So one is push-pull class AB, another one is complementary symmetry class AB. So let us see The first one, push-pull type of class AB power amplifier. So this is the circuit for class AB type of power amplifier. So it is looking like what we have seen in class B type of push-pull amplifier. So here, one thing we have to notice, the middle terminal of this center tapped transformer, input center tapped transformer, is not given to the ground terminal. It is given to some reference voltage Vd. So this reference voltage Vd, which means that the voltage across diode, will get generated from the VCC. The only extra circuit here is from the VCC via a resistor, the diode is connected. So this diode is operating in forward bias mode. So in the forward bias, the voltage across the diode is 0.7 volts for the silicon type of diode and 0.2 for germanium type of diode. So if we select silicon transistors here, then we have to select only silicon diode. If we select germanium transistors here, then we have to select germanium diode. So same type of components we have to use in order to overcome the crossover distortion. So what is happening if we select like this? Okay, so I will explain you. As this diode is forward biased, the voltage across this diode is 0.7 volts, that is directly connected to the middle terminal of the center tapped transformer. So even though the input signal is 0, this 0.7 volts is given to the both transistors. So that's why these two will be in on state. That will make the transistors in on state. Okay, so that the crossover distortion will not be there in class AB type of power amplifiers. So remaining circuit is Q1, Q2 are the same type of transistors. In this case, these two transistors are NPN type, and here output transformer. In this output transformer, the primary is center tapped to VCC voltage, and we have connected the load, which is a loudspeaker, to the secondary of output transformer. So VIN is the AC input signal, VCC is the DC supply voltage. The forward bias voltage to the base emitter junction of each transistor is provided by using diode, as I told already. So this forward biased voltage 0.7 volts is given to the base terminals of the both transistors. The diode is operated under forward bias, therefore the drop across the diode is 0.7 volts because they are assuming the diode is a silicon type of diode. Okay, so due to this, even zero crossings of input signal, the voltage across transistors will be above cut-in voltage. Therefore, by eliminating the crossover distortion, so there is no crossover distortion as 0.7 volts is always given to the bases of the transistors. Therefore, there is no switch off in the class AB type of push-pull power amplifier. Okay, so let us move to the class AB type complementary symmetry push-pull amplifier. So one thing we have to notice here is in normal push-pull amplifier, one voltage is enough. Suppose here if you say the 0.7 volt, the same 0.7 volts is enough to switch on the Q1 as well as the Q2. But in complementary symmetry type, it is not like that. So we have to provide 1.4 volts between the two transistors. That is the problem here because one transistor is a NPN type, another transistor is a PNP type. NPN require 0.7 volts in order to operate, and the PNP type transistor requires minus 0.7 volts in order to operate. So the DC biasing voltage should be 1.4 volts between the input terminals of the transistors. So let us see, in push-pull amplifier only one diode is sufficient to provide the cut-in voltage. In case of complementary symmetry, base emitter junctions of Q1 and Q2 required a fixed bias of 1.4 volts. Why it is 1.4 volts in the sense, as we already discussed, the NPN required 0.7 volts and the PNP type requires minus 0.7 volts. So from minus 0.7 to 0.7 volts, it is a 1.4 volts range. This is achieved by using a potential divider network as shown in the figure. So this is the circuit for complementary symmetry class AB type of power amplifier. We are using one voltage divider network here. So from the VCC R1, R2, R3, which forms the voltage divider network. Okay, so here we are using the two supply voltages. One is plus VCC, another one is minus VCC. So these are input capacitors which blocks the DC voltage and allows only AC signal from the VIN to basis of the transistor. And from the emitters of Q1 and Q2, we are taking output signal via a coupling capacitor CC, and here RL is the load resistor. So one thing we can observe here, the Q1 is a NPN type of transistor and the Q2 is a PNP type of transistor. In this circuit, we will select the values of R1, R2, R3 in order to provide plus 0.7 volts for the Q1 transistor between these and minus 0.7 volts to the transistor Q2, so that the both transistors will be in on state even though the input signal is 0. But the junction voltages of these transistors may vary with the temperature. So these 0.7 volts is sometimes not enough to switch on the transistors. That time we may get again crossover distortion. This thing can be avoided by using the diodes instead of R2 resistor. See, the junction voltages changes with respect to temperature, so the resistors can be replaced by two diodes connected in series as shown in the figure. So here if you observe, two diodes are connected in series, and at the middle of these two diodes we are providing the AC input signal. Apart from these, one thing we can understand, if you use the diode like this, then the variations in the junction voltages, whatever occurring with respect to temperature in the transistors, the same thing will be happen if we use the similar type of diodes here. Suppose both transistor and diode should be in germanium or should be in silicon. If you select like this, then junction voltage variations will be same for transistor as well as the diode. That's why these junction voltages can be automatically adjusted and that we won't get any crossover distortion. So this is a circuit which avoids the crossover distortion with the temperature. The maximum efficiency of this class AB type of power amplifier is only 78.5%, which is equal to the class B type. So our intention is to get more efficiency. So we are going for one more type of power amplifier, that is class C type power amplifier. Okay, let us see what is class C power amplifier. We know that in class C type of power amplifiers, the collector current will flows less than half cycle, which means that it is less than 180 degrees it will flow. The output current will flow less than half cycle. Such a type of power amplifiers is called class C type of power amplifier. And the efficiency of class C power amplifier is high when compared with the class A, class B and class AB. So class A has 25% to 50% and class B and class AB are 78.5% only. But it is more than that. The conduction angle for the class C is less than 180 degrees. Okay. So the efficiency of class C is around 80%, which is just somewhat more than class B type of power amplifier. This is the circuit for class C type of power amplifier. So it is looking like a normal class A type of power amplifier, but here there is no collector resistor. This collector resistance was replaced with a LC tuned circuit, so which provides the parallel resonance. I will explain you why it is placed here. If you see the curves, the Q point is selected just below the x-axis. I will recall the operating points. In class A, it is placed at the middle of the DC load line. In class B, it is placed exactly on x-axis. In class AB, it is just above the x-axis and not near to the class A. But in class C type, it is placed below the x-axis. So what happens if you select the Q point like this? So this is the input curve and it is the output curve. As we selected the Q point here, the portion where the input signal which is lies in this portion only reproducing at the output side. So whatever the signal that is present between these two curves will be available at the output side, which is less than 180 degrees. So because this is the exact midpoint of our input signal and this is one half cycle and this one is the another half cycle. So if you see this region is covering less than half of our waveform, half cycle of our waveform. That's why only this portion is getting reproduced. This class C type of power amplifier, there is so much noise because here we are not even producing half of the cycle. So that's why we can't say the output is a exact sinusoidal. It is just like a pulse signal. So these pulses has to convert into a complete sinusoidal signal via this parallel resonance tuned circuit. Okay, so this tuned circuit is tuned to some frequency, so that frequency only will be amplified by this amplifier. In class C power amplifier, which introduce heavy distortion. Okay, as I told, it provides more distortion because it is reproducing less than half cycle, and the remaining portion, at the remaining portion, we will get more distortion. Okay, the output signal, not exact reproduction of the input signal. These pulses produced by the output, as I told, the output signal will be in the form of pulse because it is less than half cycle. We can't say it is a sinusoidal signal. Okay, so the output can be converted to the complete sine wave of a particular frequency by using LC circuits in the collector circuit. This LC parallel resonance tuned circuit which converts these pulse signals into a sinusoidal signal of the particular frequency. The efficiency of this class C power amplifier is 80%, which is more than that. So as we already discussed, some of the power amplifiers like class S and class T, which provides greater efficiency than all other power amplifiers. Okay, so the class D and class S provides approximately 100% efficiency. So let us see the comparison graph between all the power amplifiers. This curve will separate the positive half cycle and a negative half cycle. Let us see the class A type of power amplifier output. So the complete sinusoidal signal, which means that the 360 degrees signal will be reproduced at the output side. Okay, that is about class A. And if you go for the class B type, only one half cycle is reproduced at the output side and remaining half is not reproducing in class B type because output will conduct only for the half cycle. If you go for class AB type, which is lies middle of the class A and class B, that is greater than 180 degrees and less than the 360 degrees. So from this you can observe that this is one half cycle and remaining some portion of the negative half cycle is reproduced here, which is less than 360 degrees. Let us move to the class C type. In class C type, output will conduct less than 180 degrees, which means that the output is producing less than class B amplifier and remaining will clipped at the output side. Okay, so let us go to the class D and class S types. So here entire output is getting reproduced at the output, but the output will not be in the form of sinusoidal signal. Output will be in the form of pulse. Okay, so these pulse signals has to convert back into the sinusoidal signal using some low pass filter or some tuned circuits. I hope you understood the comparison between all power amplifiers.